What's up guys, it's me, Jeremy. Recently this week I've had the wonderful pleasure of being able to beta test Overwatch, and I wanted to share a little bit of my thoughts on the game and overall just my experience in the first few days of playing, and it's been a lot of fun, so let's get into it. Also, when this video goes live, I will be streaming Overwatch, and we're also going to be giving away one of these guys over here, a Raising Kraken USB headset, so come check out the stream, link in the description. Anyways, with shooters, it's actually been a very long time since I played a shooter. The last shooter I played was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 when I was like 12 years old, so it's been, about almost 8 years since I actually played a shooter. And with that, it's actually been really interesting because in Overwatch, I've had a reasonably easy time learning the game so far. I think my first day was, let's just say it was below average. But after playing for, just like 3 days, I think I'm really starting to get the hang of the game and starting to understand the feel and all that stuff. And honestly, I really have to say that the game is a total blast, and it really just exceeded all of my expectations. It's a lot of fun. I'm playing this thing like all day non-stop. It's really all I can think about when I'm not playing. Like, I just want to play some more. It's really fun. And it's also like a little bit more casual than some other shooters that I've noticed too, because when I've played other shooters here and there, I know I tried CSGO, I played like 5 or 6 games, I've tried some other shooters too, I tried like Unreal Tournament, and they tend to be very hard to get into because they're difficult mechanically and they're difficult strategically. But something I really enjoy so far about Overwatch is that it really appeals to every single type of player. There's all skill levels of play can find something that they like in Overwatch. There's a lot of characters that are extremely easy to play mechanically, and a lot of characters that are also extremely easy to play strategically. There's also characters that are hard to play mechanically and hard to play strategically, so as long as you know which character fits which role, you're going to have a really awesome time because you can figure out which guy is going to be the right for you really quickly, and I'm really enjoying the characters so far in the game. I'm trying to play pretty much everyone, but I'm having a pretty difficult time with the characters that are difficult mechanically, but I'm really enjoying the characters that are difficult strategically. And overall, I'm having a total blast with my time in the game. One thing I have noticed that I'm personally really sad about is that the queue times right now in the closed beta are pretty long. Honestly, it feels bad when I wait in a queue, I'm like, this queue is so long, like why can't you just let more people into the beta? Like, what's going on, Blizzard? But I do think they are slowly starting to ramp up and let more people into the beta pretty soon, and I would expect the first open beta weekend to be around BlizzCon. As well, a lot of people are saying that there's some rumors going around that the game is going to be free. We don't know for sure. Blizzard hasn't announced a pay model yet, but all signs are pointing towards the game being free on launch. A couple other things I noticed with the game is that team comp is actually extremely important, and with that, I think playing a lot of different characters is starting to become a pretty important strategy, and is something that players are going to have to really adjust to. And I think, honestly, as much as even 50 to 60% of the strategy in the game is just your team composition and playing out the team comp properly. I'm looking forward to a rank system. Hopefully they'll introduce one soon and we can start getting some more competitive matches. Again, I'm not the most experienced FPS player at all, but in the background you are seeing what I think was my best game of the first 2 days that I played. I played on the character called Tracer. She's very mobile, doesn't do too much damage, but she has a lot of outplay potential, and she's really fun, and I enjoyed her a lot. Probably my favorite character in the game so far. As well, just a couple of random things that I noticed. The spell effects, originally when I started playing the game, I expected the spell effects to be like completely overwhelming and very difficult to make the game very difficult to take in and focus on things, but it's actually not too bad. I would say it's very comparable to League of Legends. League of Legends and Teamfight, you're going to have loads of spell effects all over the place, and I think Overwatch is fairly comparable to that, not too much worse in terms of when you're actually playing the game. As well, I think the maps in the game have reasonably interesting design. A couple nights ago, I was able to take a few hours to just run around the maps and explore things, find some choke points, some interesting areas, and stuff like that. And I noticed that the map design is actually very interesting in my experience. Something that Blizzard has done on pretty much every single map is that, both sides of the map are not always available options in terms of flanking, right? So on every single, I think every single map, there's only one path that you can usually take to flank either the right side or the left side. Usually there's multiple areas you can go from the left side or multiple areas you can go from the right side, but it's very unlikely in the maps that you can flank from both sides. And I think that's a pretty interesting design. As well as something I've noticed is that the first half of the map on every single map is extremely in favor of the attacking team, and the second half of the map is very much in favor of the defending team. So it creates a fairly interesting gameplay dynamic where it feels like at the beginning, like the attacking team, like you can do really well, but then on the second half, it's like the defending team can come back. And I think overall, the game isn't very snowball heavy, and the way the maps are set up does a very good job of encouraging comebacks, like I had originally predicted when I took a look at the maps on the first place. But yeah, like I said, the game's a total blast. It's really, really surprisingly easy to get into. I think it's probably going to be one of the easiest shooters to get into ever, honestly. And I think that's really good, because if you've never played a shooter before, you are absolutely going to have a lot of fun with Overwatch. And if you're a little bit more experienced with shooters, potentially try some of the more difficult characters or the more difficult strategical options that the game has to offer. Maybe if you don't prefer the mechanical difficulty, then you can play some of the support characters or the melee characters, the tanks, stuff like that. But overall, I think the game is pretty good, and it has a lot of esports potential too, so I'm looking forward to see some tournaments coming out, and I'm going to have a lot of fun with the game, streaming every day. Check it out, and thanks for watching.